Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? It is so good to see each and every one of you here. I am Angie Giltner, Master Business Coach and Intentional Disruptor of the Status Quo. And I am here to talk about break down your big, ambitious goals into simple daily wins using AI. But before we get started on that, let me just tell you very quickly a smidgen about me. I help female founders with their biggest headache, which is client acquisition. I use a customized framework that makes you a client magnet and impossible to ignore, like that glitter that's stuck to your desk. I appreciate you hanging out with me for the next few minutes and learning how to turn your big, audacious goals into simple daily tasks so that you can increase the likelihood of achieving each and every goal that you set for yourself. Now, before I share my screen and show you what this looks like, I want to talk briefly about goals. Your goals should be big. They should, as I call them, have those butt pucker moments where you're like, this goal is so big. I don't know if I can achieve it. Go for it. That would be my recommendation. So it's good. If your butt puckers a little bit, that means you're on the right track, and get specific. And I mean, super, super specific. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like here in just a moment. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me get situated here and show you exactly what I mean. So I like to use Perplexity and Claude. Those are like my two favorites. There's so many out there. Do the one that works best for you. And like if you have your favorite, just stick with it. Don't feel like you have to go out and try all the new latest AI because you can't keep up. There's so many of them out there. But I'm just going to show you the one that I like to use. And then we're going to do a quick little comparison with Claude. I have pre-populated some prompts just to save us some time on the video. So I'm going to run out here and grab these and talk about getting specific. I'll show you what I mean here. So, generate, this is a very specific number, $133,587.22. That is super specific. Most people, when they're setting a revenue goal, it's like 140,000 and they just leave it at that. Get specific. Those little specific details matter. So, because they really help you stay laser focused and honed in on, because this is a real number, right? Like if you think about it, how often do you actually make $140,000, right? Like flat, no, nothing else. It's just that number. Not very often, I suspect. But this number is very real and it's a very realistic number because this is what it tends to look like more in our bank account than a flat $140,000. So, do you see the difference? How even changing the number and getting super specific makes this goal much more of a reality than a flat 140,000. So, there's just a little pro tip for you. So, we're going to talk about reverse engineering your big goal, and we're going to break it down all the way through daily tasks. But we got to start big and broad, and then we're going to get super narrow, and I'm going to show you why this is important as we go along. Okay, so we're talking about 2026, and we're going to break this down into 90-day activities first. Every quarter, you're going to be doing some things very specific. So we're going to let AI do its thing. Da, 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 the magic. So this tells you exactly what it is that you need to do. So it's your quarterly targets and different types of things. So, but it needs to know a little bit more information. This is good, and it's going to challenge you to provide it with some very specific data that you need to truly make this type of a goal attainable. So it's making some assumptions right now. So the average sale is this, and conversion rate is that, and then it goes through and does math. I don't do math, so thank goodness for AI to help me with math. But it does break down a little bit monthly and weekly. But this is where it starts to get super important. And these are the types of things that you need to be putting on your calendar. Okay. So the start of every quarter, you need to really look at and put these types of things on there. And I would encourage you to schedule one day. Just block out the whole day. If you complete it quicker than that, great. Give yourself a little extra time in that day. Go do something enjoyable. But really looking at this and say, okay, for this month, this is what I need to achieve. This is my big goal for this particular month. But the nice thing is I only encourage you to do this at 1 month at a time. Okay. Or I should say 1 quarter at a time, not 1 month. So at the beginning of Q1, this is what you're going to do. So in January of 2026, using this example, this is what you're going to say. And you're going to put this all in. You're going to spend a day doing all of the things necessary. There's a lot of stuff that you can automate along the way and use different tools to help you be successful. But because things change, you're going to gather data as you move along. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. But you're going to do all of these key activities and different kinds of things, and then track, measure, and adjust. That's everything we do in business, right? We track, we measure, and we adjust those KPIs, all of those types of things. So the other thing I like about this is it breaks it down. For those of us who are more visual, I love to see a chart broken down. It just makes things more visual for me. So that's the other thing that I like about this particular AI tool is it gives that. And then, as you can see, adjust all numbers to fit your actual average sales conversion rate, da, 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 da. And then it gives you some additional prompts here that you can have a play with and make it even more relevant and more specific to you. So now we're going to go out. And so we know we got this quarterly goal of this. And so I'm going to put this prompt in. Let's just hit copy. Like I said, pre-did this just to save us a little bit of time. And I answered the questions, okay? Average deal size, conversion rates, sales cycle length, churn rate, all of those types of things. And so you can see here, reverse engineer and establish monthly tasks to achieve this goal. So you've got your quarterly task, and you're only going to monitor this for Q1 because things are probably going to change for Q2, but you're going to have the prompts and you're going to have the data to be able to adjust moving forward. So now let's just see what it tells us here. So then it goes and gets even more specific and talks about all the, does more math, if you will. It adjusts for the churn rate and the monthly breakdown. So here we go. So monthly tasks, we need to generate these many qualified leads, close these many deals, track and replace churn rate, monitor our pipeline, review and adjust. There we go. And then once again, it has the table and that type of thing. And so once again, it's got other prompts down here that can lead you. I won't say, it's really down the proverbial rabbit hole, right? Because we can get stuck doing this and head down a proverbial rabbit hole, but sometimes that's okay because the more data and the more information we have increases the likelihood that we're actually going to achieve this goal. So now what you're going to do is starting off in January, this is what you're going to do every month. So you got your quarterly for Q1. Now you've got your month for January. And this is what you're going to do. So every month or in January, you're going to do this based on this data. But at the end of January, you're going to reevaluate the data. Okay. And so once a month, you're going to sit down. You might not need a whole day, you might just need half a day. But at the beginning of the month, really look at your qualified leads, your close rate, your churn rate, all of the things to input the data so that it will give you even better information to break down those goals, reverse engineer them, and increase the likelihood that you're going to achieve them. So I've done some adjusting because, in this particular scenario, we've done some adjusting. I'll show you what that looks like here. So I have adjusted our conversion rate, our sales cycle length, and our churn rate. Our churn rate went up a little bit, but everything else and our conversion rate went up a little bit because we were more intentional, because we did some very specific activities that were mentioned back up here, for doing what we needed to do. And so that increased our conversion rate. Woohoo! And so now let's see what happens with this. It's going to do its thing, do more math, and adjust for the updated information. And so now every week you've got this information that you should be generating this many leads, close this many deals, blah, 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 and review your pipeline. Got the little image there. So anyhow, but it tells you here to focus consistently on generating enough leads and closing deals at your current conversion rate. So, and if you can, obviously you want to increase that conversion rate. And then should you fall short any week, increase lead generation or improve conversion tactics to stay on track for your monthly and quarterly goals. So it just gives you some little information there to just keep you focused, keep things top of mind. And it's stuff you already know, okay? It's just not stuff that you're not intentional about doing on a consistent and regular basis. But once you get intentional about doing it, everything changes. This is when the goals actually happen. All right, so let's go out and get our next prompt. So we've done the things, and oh man, some great things have happened. We have our average deal size has increased because of we've done a better job at upselling. Don't forget your upsells in there, and also have a downsell too, because a little bit of revenue generation is better than no revenue generation. So don't forget your up and down sells. So we've got to adjust because our average deal size has increased. We're still at the 27% conversion rate, sales cycle of 40 days. You can get that down even better. Oh, awesome. And then our churn rate is remaining about consistent. So now let's see what happens here. So this is daily tasks. And this is something that it needs to be an appointment on your calendar that doesn't get moved, kind of like self-care, but you cheat on self-care days. I know you do, because I do too. But this is something, if you want to achieve your goal, you cannot cheat. You cannot fluff off the appointment. You can't say, oh, a massage is much more important to my life than getting this done. Do this, then get the massage. It's like eat the frog, right? You've probably read that book by Brian Tracy. So, and if you haven't, it's definitely a must read. So anyhow, so really look at, and this is where the magic really starts to happen. So your daily tasks, and it goes through, once again, all of the things, daily breakdown, and all of that. And so it just gives you things to do that you really need to focus on and celebrate. Okay. you really need to be celebrating those daily wins. And it's like, I reached my daily outreach goal of, so let's say 27 was your daily outreach goal and you achieved that, celebrate it. Um, if you it had increased the average amount of your sales, and it goes up to over 4,000. Celebrate that. Celebrate every win along the way. That's what's going to help keep you motivated. And so really, really be thinking about all of these types of things whenever you are reverse engineering your goals. Now, I want to show you, we're going to do the same prompts, but we're going to do them in Claude. And this will go a little bit faster because I won't have to do so much explaining. But I just want to show you the difference between the two, and sort of like why I like one over the other. So once again, we've got our big goal, very specific, and let's go down and see what's happening here. So anyhow, I like this. Do you see the different scenarios that it has? And it goes through very specifically the different weeks and the different things that you need to do. So this is why you want to try out and I always recommend doing reverse engineering your goals in at least two of your favorite AI, because here's why. So obviously Perplexity did a fine job, but do you see how, and look, it honestly, it's very intuitive, and you can tell that Claude reads my mind and knows my prompts, because even went down to weekly, monthly, and quarterly implementation lists without me even asking, because I've trained it to do that. But we're still going to play it out and see. But right, I mean, I just love this. I love Claude so much better, and as you can see why. So now let's do the same thing for the quarterly, and let's just see what it gives us here. And yeah, it's just such a great tool. And I love the specificity. Um, and once again, it goes through this, gives it the updated data, and once again, very, very specific with dates and everything. This is the kind of stuff that you really want to put on your calendar. These are the types of things that you really don't want to miss out on. And follow these. This, you want to talk about significantly increasing the likelihood that you're going to achieve your goals. Could you see how doing this and following this formula is going to move the needle for you? I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? So, and it even goes down to daily tasks all the way through, and it's still going. It's going to go Q2, it's going to keep going Q3, and it's going to keep going Q4. Now, you always want to be adjusting your data. So I wouldn't recommend, although this is doing its thing right now, I wouldn't recommend putting all these on your calendar yet, because data is going to change, okay? And as the data change, the output may change. But keep this in a Google Doc or on your Trello board, or wherever it is. Keep this handy so that you can always refer back to it. Maybe do some pair and contrast and that type of thing. But you always want to keep this handy to refer back to. And there might be some things that you're like, man, this is really, really working for me. Or, you know what, I tried that strategy. It's not working for me. So take that off. Take that off the list. If it's not working for you, don't do it, right? Like, that's a no-brainer. So we're going to go even deeper again, and we got a couple more to go here, and let's just see how Claude responds. And I don't know about you, but I'm already just loving what Claude has produced for us. But once again, it just goes through everything. This is updated information, as you might recall from the first. And so weekly task format. It goes through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the things of what you need to do. Now, if you're someone like me, I don't typically I don't work on Fridays. So that's okay. Take Friday's tasks and distribute them out between, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when you are working. But you've got to carve out the time. All right. Now, and one of the big questions I typically get asked is how much time? Well, that depends. Everyone's goal is different. It depends on what your goal is. And so, like, I'll use one of my clients. She had a goal and she's currently working with me, and she uh, was a new entrepreneur and literally just wanted revenue because she was a new entrepreneur, wasn't quite sure how to generate revenue. And I'm all about return on investment. I always want my clients to get a huge, massive return on investment. So she invested about $4,000 to work with me. And within like 2 months, 2.5 months, she closed a client that is gonna signed a contract, is paying her $1,000 a month for 12 months. That's a pretty good return on investment for your first couple of months in coaching. So but things have adjusted, things changed. She was spending, because she was a new entrepreneur, she was spending a lot of her time every day doing these things. And I love this success formula. Do you see how it's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly success formula? I love how this is broken down. I love how it just really makes it clear. It makes it simple. It tells you exactly what you need to do. All right, we've got one more to go here. We'll head down the last rabbit hole. All right, let me grab this. We're going to put this in Claude and let Claude work his magic here. Once again, I hope you're keeping track of all these, that you're copying them, you're putting them on a project management system board, or you're keeping them in a Google Doc. But look at this morning routine. I mean, it gets so specific. It tells you exactly what to do. There's no guesswork, because a lot of times when you set that big goal for $133,587.22, you're like, what do I need to do every day to get me to that revenue goal of? And now, I mean, it literally, there's performance targets and just all types of different types of things. So hopefully you can see the power of using two different platforms, although Perplexity gave some really good information. But consistency hacks and some different tactics, and your daily non-negotiables. Just like I said, you cannot cancel this appointment with yourself. If you want to achieve your goal, you will mark your calendar out so that you can achieve that goal. And the math matters. I am not a big math person. I can barely spell math. It's not my cup of tea, but I love to be able to use tools like this that help me with that math so I don't have to figure it out. I am, and I love this. Daily activities compound. And that's what, and you got to celebrate them every day. Like I said, missing one day means missing almost $4,000 in revenue 40 days later. Ouch, right? So missing one day. Now, still want you to take vacation, still want you to take time off and engage in self-care in that type of thing. But do what you got to do, set up automations. There's all types of tools out there that can help you manage those tasks for whenever you are out and living your best life. So I want to share just one last thing with you, because I have a complimentary gift that I would just love to share with you. It is super easy to grab, easy for me to say here. Um, And get this up. And I'm going to share my screen again. I feel like I should be singing some type of music or something. Keep you entertained while we're wrapping this up. So if you go to femetis.com, and here it's super simple, Femetis, femetis.com, and break down big ambitions into simple daily wins with AI. So I don't get that specific because I just showed you how to reverse engineer any goal. This could be literally any goal that you have. This goes into different types of prompts and things that I use on a regular basis. This goes into how I use some of my favorite AI tools. So it's a complimentary gift just for you showing up here today and spending a little bit of time with me. I appreciate you. I would love to answer any questions you have. So please feel free, reach out. Would love. And the other thing, and probably the biggest thing is, I'd love to celebrate your wins with you. If you use this strategy and just completed an amazing goal and achieved a goal that you have just been dreaming of achieving and have finally done it, please let me know. I want to celebrate with you. I want to help shout it from the mountaintops for you. And I wish you all the best. Once again, thanks for spending some time with me. You have a choice on where you spend your time, and I'm grateful that you've allowed me to have a little bit of that today. All right. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Angie Giltner here. Bye bye.